Hey, we're here with Rylie Shadow. I'm excited to interview this guy today. We're out here in the one day in March here. Oh, actually, it's April now. It's April 1st, where it's getting to be a little bit kind of springtime. You can see there's still snow on the ground, but man, it's been it's been pretty cold.
Ridiculous.
Pretty cold, ridiculous weather. Okay, Rylie Shadow, man, I'm glad that we can actually sit outside today.
Yeah.
We got ducks and stuff. I'm just gonna pan over there real fast. This is like a nice setting, man. This is a good spot here. We're up here in Layton, just chilling.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rylie is super talented, part of the Utah scene here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I made my first song. I dropped it in March of 2022. It's called Holes. It was more of a emo type song. I kind of steered away from that for sure. It was not the move. I've been working with Julius, Jules,
Yeah.
for the whole time. He's the only person that's touched my music because
Nice.
I'm kind of a creature of habit. I like to stick with what I know is going to work.
Well, he's about as talented as you can get around here.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's been about a year then. So this kind of marks the 1 year almost anniversary. March did anyway.
Yeah.
Now we're in April. So this is kind of like the start of your second year now.
Yeah.
Pretty much just getting things going. What got you into it in the first place? Or who got you into it and how?
Well, I mean, no one in specific got me into it. I always kind of wrote music, but it was like I never had that outlet of just like putting it down on a track. So I met Jules, actually. I was working at McDonald's.
Nice.
And we got to talk, and he told me he was a producer, so I hit him up. And I mean, I grew up on hip hop and other rap music like that, and held rock and stuff like that, so it was really easy to kind of get into it.
Mm-hmm. So you were already familiar. So was Jules a pretty big McDonald's customer? I could picture him hitting that drive-through a couple times a day.
Actually, I only ever saw him there once, and in fact, the whole year I've known him, I don't think we've really gotten a whole lot of McDonald's together.
Okay.
It was just pure coincidence that he was coming through after a show one night, and I was there.
Yeah, and he's, do you want to talk a little bit about Black Lung Society?
Oh, God, do I. All right, yeah, it's Black Lung Society, the haven for subculture. Some might even say we saved the underground, to be honest, with the local venues kind of disappearing off the map. Gold Blood disappeared, Loading Docks is gone. So we're just kind of a place where anyone in the local scene can come in and get down. I mean, it's mostly hardcore stuff now. We started out as a hip hop venue, but we're doing some crazy stuff now.
Well, and it's really evolved as a venue too, in terms of like what he's done with it. He didn't have really a stage like when back in the day. He had there was like remember the little platform?
Oh,
that was
yes.
Like, yeah,
dude, that was sure a time in Black Lung. I think the first time I performed there, we had just gotten kind of a higher stage. It was probably about the height of this table, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So
feels like a whole different era, doesn't it?
Oh,
like,
dude, yeah, and I'm glad to have been there when
from the start.
I came in a little late, but I'm glad I got to be around when we got our PA system up and we got the nice new stage, and we're kind of turning into a real business.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of business, you have a label.
Yes, Get Found Dead Records.
Get Found Dead Records.
Yo.
What's the best way for someone to get a hold of that, like to try and get involved with you guys? Or
really, probably you can hunt me down on Instagram, hit me up. You can email me at rylieshadow6@gmail.com.
And do you want to spell out Rylie's?
RYLIE shadow6@gmail.com.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And there's no charge or anything. Right. So that's cool. I can't get over these ducks, man. It's such a nice little setting,
yeah.
just seeing like the.
That's why I chose this place.
We were just talking before we started, before I turned on the camera, about how like the birds probably think it's crazy because like we had like a week where it was like warm spring weather, and then like winter came back with a vengeance. And it
Part
makes
2, bro.
Right? It makes you wonder what the ducks and what the birds and stuff think, because they're like, okay, time to come back, and then they get hit with like these freezing cold nights.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. I swear the air's just coming straight from the Arctic.
Yeah.
Straight down here. I hope it's not one of those years where it goes straight from freezing cold to like burning hot, and we miss out on spring
Everything else. Yeah.
Okay, so when did you first start getting interested in music, even before you started thinking about making it? Like, what got you, like, just when you were younger, when you were like a child, what kind of music did you listen to? Like pop music or?
Growing up, so I grew up a good portion in California. I was born in Vegas, grew up mostly in California. So I mean, I grew up on a lot of like NWA, Tupac, Biggie on the East Coast, Wu-Tang Clan, Old Dirty Bastard, Meth Man. So I mean, I've always kind of been into hip hop. That's kind of been my thing. Plus like classic rock like Queen and Motley Crue and Led Zeppelin.
So on a slightly personal note, what brought you out here to Utah? Your family and stuff, or whatever?
Oh yeah, I was in going into 6th grade, and my mom got a job out here working at the Burlington at the Newgate Mall down in Ogden.
Okay.
And so we just came down to Utah.
So do you have some pretty strong Ogden ties?
I don't know. I mean, Dante lives out in Ogden, and Dante's probably the only reason I really go down there. But I work a lot, so. But yeah, I mean, Ogden's kind of got a place in my heart for sure.
Yeah. Well, like speaking of like the Utah scene and how much talent there is here, like Ogden actually is a little hot spot there. It's
definitely
surprising. You got like, I mean, you got Delaric and everybody up there.
Yeah.
You got like some real talent.
Yeah, definitely. We got some talent everywhere.
What do you see happening in the next? I mean, okay, because we talked about how you've had about a year in this now.
Yeah.
What do you see happening, or goals, or anything for like the upcoming year?
Some goals. I have my business manager, Ben Tony, that you were talking to. I have him looking at some underground venues out in different states. We're going to try to hit a little surrounding state tour, maybe.
Nice. Underground venues is a good spot to like find people.
Oh yeah, it's the best place to network. That's where I met Dante. That's where I met Delaric. That's where I met Lex. So.
Yeah, and we were just talking about. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're good.
About your goals here, but we were talking about how I found some random like electronic flyer from like 2021 in November about like Dante Wolf. Someone had sent me or whatever, and I had saved it, the little flyer thing, which was really cool. It was for Black Lung, but it's kind of crazy if you think about how in 2021 things were still just barely coming off of COVID.
Oh yeah.
Everything was like, it's crazy to think.
We're trying to repair.
Yeah, like how that's kind of like a little bit behind us, but it's still lingering in its influence on everything.
Yeah.
On everything in this world. But okay, so goals, and you're thinking of doing a little tour?
Yeah, trying to work on a little tour. I got a couple little songs I'm working on right now. So, obviously the end goal is just making it out of the underground and bringing Salt Lake to everywhere.
One of the things that Delaric and I have talked about is how it's hard to break out because there is just so much content being posted to the internet every single day. Like so much content being posted on. There's like 10 hours worth of content uploaded every second.
Yeah.
Just like there's no way that anyone in their whole lifetime could, if all they did was just listen to new stuff coming out, there's no way they could listen to it all. And so it's kind of like there's a lot of buried treasures out there. It's
Definitely.
kind of like being an archaeologist, trying to find
definitely.
stuff, do some digging.
Oh yeah, I mean, man, if every talent got recognized, then I mean, everyone would be famous because everyone's got that one thing. But I mean, all it takes is to be that one talent that kind of just shines out, and I mean, that's kind of what Get Found Dead is kind of going for, is to be that talent that comes out and help that talent that deserves to be recognized come out. So
yeah, give people a platform. There go some birds. What kind of birds are those over there? Is that like geese? Those are geese. Nice. And now those geese made me totally forget what I was gonna say, but but that's all right though. We were talking about getting discovered and yeah. So what's the name of your label? How did you choose that, or who chose that?
I did. It's actually, I like telling the story. I'm glad you asked that. So I was just in my room drawing one night, and I wrote "Get Found, ... dead."
Yeah.
Just meaning like either get found or get found dead. I was really on my Suicide Boys shit, but it's also a play on the Get Founded.
Oh, Get Founded. Ooh, Get Founded, Get Founded.
Yeah, so it's a little play off
to
that.
Come up with that.
Yeah, it takes a rapper, huh?
Yeah.
A little double entendre.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was really kind of a fast-paced thing. I came up with the name. I was like, damn, Get Found Dead's kind of hard. And I text my friend Jay, who's actually the co-founder of the label, and was like, hey, you want to start this with me? Because we've been talking about it, but I was like, you want to start this with me? I'm making music, let's do it. And he was like, let's do it. I hit up Ben, I was like, you trying to do something? And hit up a couple artists. I talked to Jules about it, and then it was kind of off from there. I filed my LLC last summer, so we're getting there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very cool. And you talked about how you had seen some of the interviews that I have up, like Jason.
Yeah, Delaric.
Jason Delaric and everything. Yeah. My friend Austin, who we'd been talking a little bit about, like I'm not going to get into all that or whatever, but he had seen the interview with Jace, and he was talking to me about how significant that was to him, because we actually talked about him in that interview a little bit, because people that struggle with mental issues and so on and so forth, and I think that music for a lot of people, just this is something that I've thought about a lot lately, is that music is an outlet for people who are struggling with all kinds of different, especially in this crazy world right now, post-COVID, everything else, would you say that you have any, I don't know, is music helpful to you as a way, as an outlet?
Oh, it's definitely an outlet for sure. I mean, man, most of my songs are kind of you can get down to them, you can sing to them, you can just get angry. My newest song I dropped in October, Shoot, Loot, and Boogie. That's more of an angry song, and I was just feeling pissed off right when I was writing that song. I was going, I was going through it, and I mean that song really helped me get that anger out and just kind of project it into something else. I mean, music's definitely like that. It can definitely help. You can find a song for any mood you're in, and it's really freeing, to be honest, to be able to relate to these lyrics that you hear in such a personal way that it inspires you, or you can do other stuff, and that song can become your favorite. So I think music's definitely
it's really weird, because I have this heart condition that's heart failure, which it's a pretty bad sounding name, heart failure. But I mean, it is pretty serious. But one thing that's weird is that when I go out to a show, and you've got like the beat and everything else going. There's something about it where like I still get kind of like worn out physically with my heart, but it still kind of gets my heart beating. It gets my heart going, and it's really kind of interesting how that works.
Definitely.
You physically and mentally get involved, like when
It's
you're at
healing.
a show, especially. Yeah.
You see your favorite artist, and it's like, it could be a local artist, it could be a big artist, like, it doesn't matter. You see your favorite artist, and it's just healing to sing your favorite song with them, or just be able to connect with them. And I mean, that's what I like about Black Lung, is like all these people. Spent, shout out Spent.
Hey, there we go.
Shit, I love Spent, and like to be able to talk to Ryan, their lead singer, and Talon, their drummer, and just kind of all of them, really. Zane, Tyler, shout out to all of them. It's very nice to be able to connect with those other artists that mean something to you. And we're not a big venue where it's like we have a green room backstage and you don't get to see the artist. You're up close and personal with them at all times.
Perfect. And you mentioned earlier that when like the name Get Found Dead.
Get Found Dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get Founded. I'm always going to think of it as Get Founded now.
Yep.
But okay, so you said that you were doing some drawing. Like, is that kind of what started you in art? Was that an outlet for you initially for a while? Or?
Drawing, I mean, I'm not great at it, so I mean, I don't do it a whole lot. But yeah, definitely, like, I feel some type of outlet when I'm drawing, because like I think I was just bored and I was just looking for something to do, drew that, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad I did that.
Okay, weird question, but I'm just wondering because you were pretty young when you moved to Utah, but 6th grade is still kind of old, like when, like for a kid, like like within, I mean, it's kind of funny how as a kid, right, in elementary school, you think of the 6th graders as being like the old ones, right?
Yeah.
But then like once you're in 6th grade, you're like the old,
middle.
Yeah. But like when you moved here at that age, was that difficult, like leaving friends behind and stuff? Or I mean, like how did you?
I mean, not really, because I mean, I was never Mr. Popular. I mean,
Neither was I.
That's a very
Record.
cliche thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, this rapper wasn't popular in high school. Yeah, but no, I mean, I didn't really have a whole lot of friends at school in California or anything. So I guess, I mean, moving here was a adjustment for sure, but it wasn't difficult. I mean, starting over when you're that young is a little easier than.
Did
like,
Utah seem very different, or did it seem kind of
colder for sure?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a contrast for sure. I mean, California has mountains, not Utah mountains though. Nowhere
Right.
like nowhere can
At least
compare.
not in like the populated areas of California, right? Like
You can see these mountains wherever you are in Utah, and I love that.
I have an uncle of mine. He's passed away now, but he moved here from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
Years ago, and
East Coast.
Yeah, and this was a while ago, but he would just sit on his back porch, just like looking at the mountains, and he's like, how do you guys not just sit there and just stare at these?
I find myself
I mean,
doing that sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
shit, look at those mountains, my man.
Right.
Like, it's hard to not look at them and just be like, wow, we hate the snow, but damn, do those look good in the snow. I mean, my first winter in Utah was magical.
Yeah.
Because I'd never seen snow like that before.
You
I mean,
you're
I
out there,
lived
like,
in...
making snowmen and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, definitely. Actually, yeah. My first year with snow, I was building a snowman with my friend Cage, and we made an anatomically correct snowman.
Oh gosh, that sounds like a 6th grade type thing.
In
to
my
me.
mom's
Yeah,
front
yeah.
yard, she
Of
was
course.
pissed.
Right.
So my first snowfall in Utah was definitely magical.
Very cool. And then did you do like any sledding and stuff that first year, or like any, I don't know, did you go out and...
I lived in Roy at the time, so I mean, wasn't very many close places. I built a snow hill in my best friend Cage's front yard.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cage if you watch this.
Cage.
Yeah, I'll watch that little dude grow up. That's crazy. But yeah, we built a little snow hill. We tried to snowboard down it, but it got exhausting. So we gave up.
No, snow is an interesting thing, man. Like I love snow, but I would like it better if it wasn't cold and wet. I think those are the two.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Yeah,
things.
but imagine how weird it would be if it was dry and hot. It was just white powder. It's like flour.
If it was just room temperature, just 72 degrees at all times, if snow was just like this set temperature, I think I'd be all right with that.
That'd be sweet.
Right.
I could get with that.
So you were starting to say, and then I interrupted you again. I've interrupted you like 3 times.
Oh, you're good.
But you were starting to say how in California the weather was just like sunny and stuff. Or I think you were starting to say something like that.
Yeah, I mean the weather in California is it gets cold and it definitely rains, but
it's right by the ocean, so it's like kind of that kind of. You got that air coming from the ocean, which keeps
air
it
coming
kind
from
of
the west,
stable. Kind of stabilizes things a little bit.
Absolutely, so it's great.
So 2023, what would you like to see happen then? Like getting back to the whole goals thing. Like what would you like to see happen for your label, for you personally? Get more shows, get more networking.
Definitely get more shows, meet some new people, meet some artists from around the country. Really, I mean, it'd be a dream to be able to go to another state and meet some people and play for some people and just kind of grow that empire of Get Found Dead, because like it's just it's the end goal for anyone that wants to do music. I'm sure you could. I was just talking to Delaric the other night.
Yeah,
it's all of our end goal to have people hear our music, and I think one of my biggest goals for this year is put out more music, play better shows, meet new people, and just keep growing that career that we're all chasing.
And what is, like, if someone connects with you and your label, like what can they expect? What's the process, or what's the, I don't know, do they just send you their music, or like, I'm just trying to picture like what would be.
Oh, like signing people?
Yeah, or
working with Get Found Dead, I mean, like, with artists, we have to really heavily fuck with them. Because it's like, yeah, we want all of our homies in the music scene to blow up, but, like, we definitely cover our own ass as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, shit, when I was making the contract, I was trying to think of any loophole I would look for and just kind of cover that. So, I mean, we definitely have to fuck with you. We definitely have to trust you. It's, I mean, right now, like, it's just me, Julius, and Dante. Really, I mean, we have King of Misfits, who came over from Totem Records when me and Totem Records merged. That's when Dante joined Get Found Dead. But we don't really have a lot of people going on right now, so, I mean, we don't want to be looked at as an exclusive club, but we want to be looked at as, I need to step my shit up if I want to sign with them, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, being exclusive and looking for that top-notch content and stuff, but anyone can just kind of like send you some of their stuff, and then you'll just kind of like look it over. Is that kind of like
definitely? No, I'm always down to listen to someone else's music and share thoughts even and kind of because I could find the next big thing tomorrow if someone sent me their music. It's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. And I think that as soon as like a couple of Utah artists start really making it out, I think that's gonna really pave the way, because there's so much here that there's so much potential here that the rest of the nation isn't gonna know what hit them. Like one of these days, it's gonna really be just kind of like bam, just and not just Utah, but also lots of local scenes. I'm sure that there's like around the nation, there's like so much talent that's just like bubbling right beneath the surface, and it's going to be like this volcano, like I swear, in the next few years, it's going to be like inevitable.
I'm trying to be one of those artists that puts Salt Lake on the map, puts Utah on the map, and I mean, it's definitely going to be one of the homies that makes it out and puts us all on the map, and I want that person to be able to get found dead when it happens, because if one of us makes it out, we're all going,
Yeah.
So,
and just a little about Jules. How would you explain like what makes him different? Because he's like I've heard people talk before, and just from my own observations, like he does things a little bit differently. Like as an engineer, as a sound engineer, as a does he call himself a producer or more of like a?
He definitely. I mean, he's my producer for sure. He makes all my beats, so I call him a producer. I don't know that he'd call himself one.
Like he seems to have just like a natural feel for what he's doing.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it didn't take time for him. I mean, I didn't know him when he started getting into it, but he definitely. I would go to say he's probably one of the best in the state, definitely, because he has that ear for, and he'll tell you that sounds like shit, and he'll make you re-record something.
He's definitely someone. Being blunt is not his problem.
Oh, he definitely does not have an issue with being honest.
Right.
He I'll get pissed off in the studio sometimes because he's too honest with me sometimes. He'll be like, that bar sucked, and I'm like, fuck, you're right.
Yeah, and he's invested as like in his own home. He's got like a studio, like a dedicated studio, like right there, right?
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he's definitely upgraded. When I started going to him, he had a moving blanket in the corner with a microphone. He built a booth, and he upgraded his systems, and he is banging now.
Come a long way. Okay, so is there anything else that you wanted to touch upon or that you'd like to say? Close things out.
I definitely want to talk a little about Dante Wolf's new album.
Definitely.
Man, this is a masterpiece, man. It from start to finish, it has a concept that you can follow and you can hook onto, and it's relatable, like for anyone has gone through that struggle or been to jail or had run-ins with the law. It's definitely a masterpiece album, and shit, dude, watching him work on that thing was crazy. Tirelessly just going in on that album, and I definitely check that out.
And he's pretty well known locally, like as quite a talent. And
oh yeah.
So he's that's gonna. I have not listened to it yet, but I'm gonna have to go do that today.
Yeah, definitely go listen to "Douse the Devil" by Dante Wolf.
Douse the Devil.
Yes, sir.
By Dante Wolf.
Yep.
And that's just DANTE and then Wolf. W. And so anybody can like look that up. And he's one of the really promising artists coming out.
I lucked out with him.
Yeah.
I met him last summer and we just clicked. We made he made a song with me, 666, and we clicked from there, and since then here we are.
Very cool. Well, all right. So, anything else? Like anything that you'd like to touch on before
yeah. Check out my music for sure. I'm out here pushing everyone else. I didn't push myself. Definitely go check out Rylie Shadow on whatever the fuck you listen to your music on. Spotify, SoundCloud. Oh, not SoundCloud. I lied. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Snapchat, for hell's sake. I'm on everything. Go listen to it.
And you on Instagram, whatever.
Yeah,
Just yell
hit me up on
pictures.
Instagram if y'all want. And definitely check us out. We got shit coming out all the time, so
Exciting,
we're always
man.
working.
These are exciting times.
And
dude.
check out Black Lung Society. Come check out our shows. We have shows every single weekend. Follow the Instagram, Black Lung SLC. Come see your favorite hardcore bands, your favorite rappers, your favorite pop punk people, you know.
Absolutely, man.
Come check us out.
We're gonna years from now look back on this, like we'll watch this interview. And
Yeah.
Like, man, that was the beginning. That was just the beginning.
Definitely.
Something big. All right, hey, it's been great, man. Great talking.
It's been great.
All right.